What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. I can't believe it, man. EA makes it way too easy for me. Way too easy for me, guys. Can you try? Can you try to put out a trailer or some information that I can't use against you? So we're going to take a look at this. Next-gen stats equals next-gen player movement, okay? So as you can see, they're leveraging the power of NFL next-gen stats. I mean, it sounds so good, doesn't it? But let's take a look at what this honestly translates onto the field. But first, these sidelines, guys, next gen. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? The best feeling Madden ever. Are these sidelines still trash to you? Because they're still trash to me. I mean, that looks awful. You are selling us that? You're telling us this is new? You're proud of this? Come on, guys. Level with us. You know this looks awful. But we're going to go through a sequence in this play, and EA's done something that's going to change the game forever, right? Time to throw, okay? We're going to just look at this, okay? Because this is how they're implementing stats into their game, right? This is the big step for them. They're going to show you next-gen stats on Madden, the same way they would be presented in a game, which, I'll be honest, is a pretty decent concept if this game played like simulation football, and we know that it doesn't. So as you go through and watch Josh Allen throw this pass, there's something you probably didn't immediately pick up on, but trust me, we're going to go back and look at it, because this absolutely exposes this game, and you would think they wouldn't even include this. So let's go back to that article and let's read it, okay? Route paths, acceleration rates allow next generation to deliver the most realistic, authentic, and fluid player movement in franchise history. Feel the most elite NFL athletes at every position move on the virtual field like they do in the real world. You've got a former practice backup lineman working on this game, right? Let's take a look at the realistic player movement already. 2.4 seconds to throw. Look at where the lineman is, double teaming the block. 2.8 seconds left to throw. Why is he letting go? Because this is the same blocking issue. 2.9 seconds. He's connected again. In 1/10 of a second, he went from not blocking to blocking. In 0.3 of a second, he went from double teaming to not to double teaming again. This is why we can't read a pocket in your horrible football game, EA. This is one of the things we wanted fixed. You're going to sit here and tell me that next-gen stats matter. That you're going to replicate players in a way you've never done before. The player movement for every position is realistic. And the guy working on the game can't even replicate the position he played in college and went to NFL training camps on? What hope do we have for any other position if he can't get the blocking right? And someone thought it was a good idea to show us time in the pocket when you know pass blocking has been broken for 5 years? Right, double team blocking, I refer to it as piggyback blocking because the players overlap each other. Then you really sit there and show it in what was a 30-second trailer. Do you think that we're stupid? Right, do you think that your community is the dumbest community of all time? Do you think that we don't play your game? Right? Do you think that we're not going to look at something like that and instantly see what's happening? Right? Or do you just know that you can't get away from it? The flaws of your game are so much that you can't even put together a trailer that doesn't show an issue. You know, the sidelines are one thing. I know a lot of people have been hard on the sidelines. Truthfully, I know a lot of people have been hard on the graphics. And to be fair, if you go back, I'm not going to do it, but if you want to go back and look at the Madden 18, 19, and 20 releases, I've talked about it in past videos. The graphics do look like they're regressing, and now it looks like they've pulled them back up. It almost looks like what they did is they slowly kind of pulled back on how good the game looked graphically, and then now all the detail is there again. So naturally, it is going to look better because they've slowly been pulling things out. And the fact that we know there's not a true next-gen game engine behind this, I'm sorry, to me personally, it kind of leaves me with that impression that they very well could have done that. If they knew they had to make next gen look special, and they knew they weren't doing anything special on their own, the only thing they could do is slowly pull out those details, slowly pull out that crispness, and then implement it back. And of course, people that have been playing the game the last 2, 3, 4 years, they're going to look at it. They don't have that barometer of Madden 15. So all of a sudden, it is going to look better to them. Right? That seems to be Madden's problem. In a nutshell, is it doesn't keep the gamer engaged with the product long enough for them to see what's happening. Because after 2 or 3 years of this, most people are done. Most people realize, hey, this is the same broken game. It's not worth my time to play. Now, as a creator, the investment I make into the time I put in Madden returns practically tenfold. But a lot of people don't have that same relationship with a video game and a community that I'm fortunate enough to have. And it's interesting because a lot of people told me that if I continued to speak poorly about this game, I was going to burn a bridge with EA. Right? I actually had one of the more well-known organizations in this community tell me that I was burning bridges by doing videos like this, and that I didn't understand. Well, you know what? I don't care about burning a bridge with EA. Because if I burn the bridge, I'll learn to swim and get to the other side anyway. Right? I care about you guys, the community, the ones that watch my videos and support me. Without me, it doesn't matter. That's why EA can put out to whatever website they want these media releases, and people still come to channels like mine or Soft Drinks to watch our opinions. We don't need the exclusive content, guys. Right? You don't want to give us the exclusive content because this is what I'm going to do with it. Right? When you show a quarterback drop back and in 0.4 seconds show that a lineman can't block properly, that's a problem. Right? And just because a gaming magazine wants to get an exclusive from you, so they're going to overlook that, doesn't mean the people that read the game will. Madden has cost so many people in this community their own credibility because they refuse to come to grips with the fact that this game is not only bad, but it continues to be the same game year after year. And there were so many of us, myself included, that really, in the back of our minds, hoped that there was no way EA was going to do this to us. Right? When the dual entitlement first came out, some people kind of said this was going to happen. But for so many of us, we didn't want to believe it, right? We wanted to think that EA was going to over-deliver, right? That they were going to actually come out and wow us. That they were going to come out and show an impressive product, an impressive game, a game we want to play, a game we want to buy, a game we want to support. We hoped that. But as the delays came, right, as we realized that the franchise updates were coming way too close to being in line with the next-gen release, it just started to make more sense that they're doing this franchise update for next-gen. And this very well could be the same game ported over. And then today, you can see in just a trailer and a couple paragraphs, the next-gen player movement they're talking about, the most realistic, fluid dynamic, however they want to describe it, it's not there. It's just not there. Linemen don't move in 0.2 seconds to go to double teams. And as a gamer, we're not NFL quarterbacks, EA Sports. I can't read a pocket as fast as Josh Allen can. Right? Mentally, your gamers don't have the same intelligence from a football IQ as an NFL quarterback. There's a reason Josh Allen is an NFL quarterback and none of us playing the game are. A big part of it isn't the physicalness, it's the mental side. You couldn't get past mentally reading a defense that fast. It's the speed of the game. That's what you can't capture. And a big part of why you can't capture it is your players move horribly and they make incredibly poor decisions. And even when you tell us you're using an RFID tag, which I guess we could all defeat with a wallet, right? Even though you're telling us you're using an RFID tag to track player movement and somehow carry that in the game, we know right away the core of football, the offensive line, isn't even fixed. And you show it to us in a 15-second trailer. And you expect no one to say anything. You expect people to fall over themselves and talk about how great the game looks graphically. Or, oh my God, look at these weather effects, the jerseys get wet. No one's going to get to that point. No one's going to care enough to get to that point. Nothing you do to this game matters when it's in the state that it's in. And more people have came to that realization. That's why this game is one of the worst rated games. That's why this game will continue to be one of the worst rated games. We're tired of the same broken game. We're tired of playing Madden 95 masqueraded as Madden 21. And when you look at problems like this, there's no way you can tell me that it's a console limitation anymore. You've went through 2 console generations now. Fix your game. Get your programming logic right. Don't tell us that you're taking real NFL data and putting it in the game when the players can't move, when the players don't understand double team blocks. It's simple. Right, a superstar player on the defensive line is never going to be a superstar player on the defensive line if the offensive linemen don't realize they need to double team him. End of story. And that's why people turn off this game. That's why people lose the illusion with this game. That's why people don't care about this game. Right? We don't care how it looks, we care how it plays. Your gamers' attention spans have went past shiny graphics. You're selling us a beautiful car with no engine. For a long time, people looked at the beautiful car and said, oh my God, I'd love to drive that. I'd love to have that car. And then they realized when they got in the car, it couldn't go anywhere because it didn't have an engine. People have caught on. No one wants the shiny car anymore, EA. We want a car that moves, no matter what it looks like. You're not giving us that car. You're telling us you are. You're selling it to us. You're promising it. But you're never, ever delivering. And this year is just more proof. Madden 22, here we come. Love to know your guys' thoughts on this. Appreciate you checking it out, and you know I will be back because I'm sure by the time I'm done recording this, someone is going to post something else that exposes this game even worse than this video did in the week with more coming.